Now my moment is finally.
The throne room sits at the center of the castle and is the site of many official events. Father would take the throne to the left, and Mother, the one on the right. Her throne remains unchanged and
Rivali's
untouched
gale is now
since her
ready.
passing. Days begin and end with the toll of this bell. Typically, it is heard throughout the castle and the town below. In the event of an emergency, however, its tone rings loud and clear all through Hyrule. This place was originally used as a watchtower, but I've repurposed it into my own study. It's perfect for conducting my studies away from Father's prying eyes. At the moment, I'm learning about ancient relics, as well as the preservation of endangered species. Despite the lovely bed prepared for me here in my room, I cannot remember the last time I was able to sleep the night through. I suppose it's to be expected. If what was prophesied holds true, there is little time left. Among the many overlooks, this is my favorite. I remember spending time with Mother here. Back then, Father still laughed. Frequently. I wonder if the day will come when we can laugh together like that again. If the sturdy iron bars are any indication, those who are brought to the lockup must have committed weighty crimes. I don't believe it's been in use for a very long time, so the guards who would normally stand post here have instead been sent to watch over the castle.
Rivali's gale is now ready.
The purpose of a gatehouse such as this is to allow enemy soldiers in, only to seal the entrance shut, cutting them off from their forces before wiping them out entirely. Over its long history, the first gatehouse has never been breached.
Rivali's gale is now ready.
protection is now ready to roll.
We are fortunate that so many aspiring soldiers have come to our aid from many different settlements. The guard's chamber is so crowded now that the sound of clashing swords seems unending. I, too, must contribute as best I can during these times. Ah, the observation room. Father would often stand here, looking with kind eyes down upon the bustling town below. I recall him saying, "One cannot rule a country without knowing its people."
Vivali's gale is now ready.
The dining hall is occasionally used for grand banquets. I cannot say I enjoy the looks other attendees give me. They are always ones of expectation and disappointment. But whenever I feel such pressure, I fix my eyes on the knight who stands at the entrance to the hall. His unchanging nature is a welcome relief to me.
It is my pleasure.
Hyrule Cathedral. When I was small, I used to imitate how Mother prayed when she came here. I should have watched her more closely. Or,
Daruk's
no,
protection is now ready
perhaps
to roll.
instead, I must find my own prayer. It is said that Hyrule Forest Park began with a single tree planted by the first king and queen of Hyrule. Since then, a tree has been planted each time the throne has succeeded, and now they make up this thriving woodland. Beyond the moat bridge lies a prison where those who have committed grave crimes are sent. Ever since I was small, I have been forbidden to cross here. It has been decided that we will investigate ancient Sheikah ruins in preparation for the calamity. The entrance to the Royal Ancient Lab, which we were forbidden from opening, now stands open. Things such as blueprints still remain, and Pura and Robbie have been absorbed in reading them, sparing no time for sleep. With the Rito and Gerudo coming here to offer up specialty wares from across Hyrule, Marita Exchange is always a lively place. In particular, the fish being sold here are popular among Rito and Gerudo alike. They sell out almost immediately. I've been told the people of Sirin's stable just moved here, hence the many wooden boxes all around. Originally, stables were started up by nomadic people who would host travelers. It seems the tents at these stables are a relic of such times. Nowadays, stables stay put, so finding a mobile one such as this is a rare thing.
Wow! Yay!
These ruins are thought to date back to the kingdom's founding. It seems likely that something of great value was once here, as there are many guardians in the area. Additionally, according to ancient documents, there was a room beyond the goddess statue, but it now appears to be buried in sediment. The bridge on the south side of Tanagar Canyon is closed because of deterioration, which means the travelers coming and going from Hebra are funneling here to Snowfield Stable. It's flooded with travelers, and the innkeep seem exhausted. Once the calamity is behind us, one of the first orders of business will be repairing the bridge. Year after year, more villagers depart from Tabantha village, never to return. It seems the bitter cold is challenging company. Now there are few who live here, and lines of empty homes. Many of the people who work at Snowfield Stable are originally from here.
Mipha's grace is ready.
I've heard that the Rito use refined group tactics in combat. Their elder has incredible intellect, the sharpest among the Rito, in fact, and Rivali is said to be the strongest Rito in history. It is said that they're an ironclad force, unlike any ever witnessed. I even sensed remarkable composure from the elder, as he told us not to worry about them. It was reassuring. It tends to be their fabrics that garner attention, but the Rito have the best woodworking techniques in Hyrule as well. From their serving dishes to their structures, even the very framework of their village, the Rito have made everything from wood. I'm told the way they transport lumber mid-air is quite the sight, and I'd love to see it someday. The winged inhabitants of this land call Rito Village their home. The wind currents facilitate upward mobility throughout its vertical design, allowing the Rito to fly from one area to another with ease. Additionally, platforms were originally constructed to connect the areas for other peoples, but it seems even the Rito are using them more and more. Rito fabrics are high quality, making them popular at the exchange. Mother adored this store and special ordered this coat. It is made with the finest of down feathers. It fits me so perfectly that it feels as though it were custom made for me. To think, I am the same height as Mother now. It brings up such feelings in me. This stone pillar towers overhead in the center of the village. It occurred to me that it may be Meadow's perch, and a frightful image sprang to mind, one of the pillar crumbling beneath the weight of Meadow. However, this divine beast is far lighter than it appears as compared to the others. My concerns, ultimately, are unfounded. Divine Beast Var Meadow seems to be soaring easily through the air. Training must be going well. Among all the divine beasts, I am told that Meadow, controlled by air currents, is the most challenging to maneuver. Yet Revali continues to impress. I imagine he, with his strong sense of duty and work ethic, has trained more than anyone else. The proprietor was proud to tell me that of all of them, Rito Stable boasts the oldest history. He also shared that no matter what price was offered, he would never sell it. His passion for this place will surely be carried on through his family line. Watching him practice here at the flight range, it is clear to me that he is a truly unique champion. He creates an updraft and then catches it, soaring upward rapidly. He is the only one capable of such a feat, and yet it isn't even what makes him so remarkable. Rivali brought me to Garflam's secret hot spring, telling me I was overworking myself. Since he can only carry one person, he said he would act as my guard, so Link is waiting at the village. I cannot remember the last time I relaxed on my own like this. I've always wanted to investigate the Hebra Mountains up close. It appears the mountainside has been scarred by an energy blast. Naturally, I would think this scarring was a direct result of the calamity 10,000 years ago. But with that the case... From what I can tell by looking at it, it would seem the mountain was blasted from the direction of Hyrule Castle. I find this unsettling. The existence of a shrine has been confirmed here at Typhlo Ruins. Could that darkness act as a test to the one chosen by the sword that seals the darkness? I don't think I can go much farther, however. I wonder if I will have to ask him to come investigate. No, I don't want to have to rely on him for this. When I heard Father announce that the knight chosen by the sword that seals the darkness was Link, I felt anything but calm inside. Whenever I hear that name, an anxiousness sets in. Even more challenging are my feelings of envy toward him. I wonder if there will ever be a day when I can look him in the eyes. The great Deku Tree watches over the sword that seals the darkness. I also view this
Rivali's
tree
tale
as
is
a
now
mentor,
ready.
in a sense. When the knight was chosen to wield the darkness-sealing sword, I felt nearly overcome by my feelings. But the great Deku Tree offered me words of wisdom in that moment, encouraging me not to give up, and that I had my own path to follow. Those words provide comfort to me still. Great Hyrule Forest is a sacred place where spirits reside. Only by following the wind's guidance can a traveler make their way through. The guidance is only offered up to a chosen few by the spirits themselves. Those who do not receive this blessing of wind will quickly find that they are right back where they started. It's easy to see how this grove came to be called the Lost Woods. The proprietor of Woodland Stable was deeply moved by how beautifully ornamented Mother's horse was, and is now studying techniques for adorning them himself. He even braided my horse's mane to match my own braids. Mother's care for horses lives on in this way. It fills me with joy to see it. Though it is small, this settlement is the oldest in the land. Named after the founding king of Hyrule, there are various theories regarding the specificity of that name. Some believe that it was the king's residence, others that it was a village of his most ardent supporters, and yet others claim it was the birthplace of the Hylian queen. Ultimately, I'm not sure even the villagers themselves know the true origins of the name. Father decided that the stables would be places of refuge in preparation for the calamity. In his words, there is more to protecting our people than simply fighting. The Stable Association was thus established to further strengthen cooperation, and Mestro, proprietor of Wetland Stable, was appointed as its first chairman. I have heard that the giant fossil in Bottomless Swamp was once worshipped by cultists who considered it the Demon King from ancient times. It is said that their blasphemous words against the goddess summoned evil spirits, turning the water impure and changing the very shapes of the rocks to ominous forms. Now it serves as a den for monsters, so setting foot inside is not possible. Here in Gaponga Village, they're working to make it possible to manage horses with just a few people. This would be achievable by using the small islands scattered about Lanayru wetlands as stables. There's a grassy field at the village's entrance where the horses seem to be living at ease. And the villagers here even told me my white horse is beautiful. Kotera is worshipped as the goddess of the land, and the villagers' offerings to her tend to be vegetables rather than rupees. It sounds like she's been less lively due to a decrease in rupee donations lately. Self-sufficiency is taking root in Kakariko village, so perhaps fewer people see the value in rupees. For generations, the Sheikah have lived in Kakariko village. The town has been their refuge ever since they were banished from Hyrule. Their advanced technology was viewed as a threat. The village itself is nestled in the mountains as an intentional hiding place. I imagine it feels as a haven to them. The people of Kakariko village cherish plum trees as a symbol of Sheikah history. Rejoicing that a dear friend had been blessed with a baby, Impa planted one such tree and ended up covered in mud in the process. It was her wish that her friend's child would end up healthy and happy. This frog statue is the guardian of travelers, though I don't believe anyone knows why it's a frog specifically. It is fascinating that a group as technologically advanced as the Sheikah would still believe in such symbols of good fortune. Maybe it somehow relates to when the Sheikah splintered after a disagreement regarding the royal family. A symbol of hope to one day reunite, perhaps? Impa will be the next elder. I am thrilled to see her take up the mantle. At present, she is the royal advisor, however, and is responsible for the internal investigation of the divine beasts. As such, she implored the current elder to wait until her work with the investigation is complete, after which she will officially step into her new role. The researchers here are hard at work raising ornamental carp. They were inspired when they saw a beautiful fish called the mighty porgy that lives in the sea to the south. They tell me they're breeding rare carp that were born with mutations. Though it is a fort by name, Fort Hateno was originally a checkpoint for travelers. It's clear it hasn't been in use for some time. I can see areas where the structural integrity is in question. If we repair it now, while we are able, it may serve as an outpost for soldiers. It seems a useful repurposing as the calamity approaches. I convinced a fisher from Lurelin village to take me to Eventide Island by boat. I've heard this island served as a final training ground for monks. I wonder what kind of rigorous trial awaited them here. Now, however, the island is overrun by monsters. I had no choice but to abandon going ashore. Gerudo Canyon provides the only path leading to Gerudo Town. It seems monsters have made the former quarry into their base, and even the Gerudo, who are intimately familiar with the land, stay exclusively on the main road. Urbosa warned me countless times to exercise the utmost caution when traveling through here. Divine Beast Varnaboris. 10,000 years ago, the Divine Beasts were active, and they, along with the ancient relics, were intentionally hidden away. This was because they were feared due to their astonishing power. Having heard a prophecy speak of this place, we deduced that this was the location of Divine Beast Varnaboris. Coming upon it now is truly breathtaking. Trade with Gerudo Town is going well, but apparently there... Trade with Gerudo Town is going well, but apparently there is no end to the traveling merchants meeting with disaster in the canyon. Though the Gerudo may be accustomed to the road, it is a difficult one for Hylians. I'll speak with Father about whether we can have a stable built here. Here in Gerudo Desert, the temperatures vary wildly, enough so to be life-threatening. In addition, traveling across the sand by foot is challenging. These conditions certainly explain the strength of body and spirit that the Gerudo possess. Which has me thinking, while Mother was prone to illness, she would often visit here, despite the harsh environment. Karakara Bazaar serves as a trading post for those who cannot enter Gerudo Town. It's a smart thing, since the town only allows women to enter. Urbosa warned me to be on alert for the Yiga clan here, but I cannot imagine they would attack in a place as crowded as this. She worries a bit too much. The North Gerudo ruins are the largest in all of the desert. Based on the sizable quarry and numerous ruins scattered about Gerudo Highlands, it appears that Gerudo Town was once quite large. I've heard that this area of the town was destroyed by a rampaging Molduga employed by a tyrant, but it is merely a theory. Gerudo Town is ruled over by Urbosa and is also the largest oasis in the desert. The buildings look as if they were carved out of large boulders. Quite sturdy indeed. When your home is a desert with numerous dangers, having strong walls is a sure way to stay safe. The sand seals, which I understand to have evolved from an aquatic creature of some kind, reside only in Gerudo and move through the desert as if swimming. The Gerudo use them as a means of transportation. However, they are quite difficult to handle. Without Urbosa's training, I might never have been able to maneuver one. Among other things, the Gerudo are known for their craft in jewelry. They consider the gems used in their jewelry as talismans, absorbing both sunlight and moonlight, which cleanses evil. As such, they wear the jewelry as much as possible. Even Urbosa's shield and knife have been crafted by a jeweler rather than a blacksmith. The Noble Canteen's famous cocktail is known as the Noble Pursuit. Gerudo preparing to seek the voe of their dreams drink it for good luck. I wanted to partake in one, but was told that I'm not ready for it yet. Chief Urbosa has made the decision to offer the Gerudo support in subduing the calamity. She and I have been close friends for a long time now, but the conversation leading to this decision was the first time we spoke as formal representatives of our people. She is as transparent as always in her motivations, to protect those she cares for. And this is also why she is so trustworthy. There have been accounts of dragon sightings since ancient times. I have been traveling to places related to these accounts in hopes of receiving the dragon's blessings, but so far I've had no luck. It seems many of the rumors are little more than folklore. As such, I thought that people were likely mistaken about seeing a dragon here in Gerudo Highlands. But the way the snow has been disturbed, it does appear as though a sizable creature moved through it. Perhaps this is the dragon's path.
Rivali's gale is now ready.
The origin of the Dragon's Blood Tree's name is unknown. At one time, the water from the surrounding mountains flowed into a network of rivers on this plateau. Perhaps the water itself was likened to bleeding, the network to blood vessels, and over time, it came to be associated with dragons, thus the current name. This is the spring where Nehru, goddess of wisdom, is worshipped. Those younger than 17 lack wisdom and are forbidden from entering the mountain. Today, all I can do is look up at it, but tomorrow, I climb Mount Nehru. If my sealing power doesn't awaken... No, it will. I'm certain it will be fine. Purifier Lake is used for cleansing prior to visiting Mount Lanayru for worship. It is a very sacred place, so there are detailed steps which must be followed here. I cannot visit yet because I'm not old enough according to custom. That said, I have practiced the steps many times in preparation for when that time comes. I'm sure I will manage just fine, but perhaps I will practice just once more. These stone monuments erected along this path detail the history of the Zora in King Dorophan's words. Thus far, only 3 have been made, but once the rest are completed, travelers will be able to learn even more about the Zora. This depiction of Mipha is truly exquisite, though that is hardly surprising. Zora's domain is home to talented metalworking artisans after all. It is said that this statue is made not only to honor her elevation as a champion, but also to act as a beacon for her safety, in the hopes that she will return home. She was embarrassed by it, however, and has asked King Dorephan to move it somewhere less prominent once she completes her duty. The land of the Zora, known as Zora's Domain, is home to the champion Mipha and the guardians of the Great Spring. We have a long history of cultural exchange with them, dating back even further than 10,000 years ago. This promenade is a testament to that long-standing relationship between the Zora and Hyrule. Stone architecture and metal engravings of the Zora are astonishing. Truly, the village itself is a work of art. The Zora made the buildings, furniture, and even the books out of a water-resistant ore. Technology such as this could be developed only by the Zora.
Hi.
The beds in the Zora Inn are hard and apparently quite unpopular among travelers. The owner consulted with me about it, saying that since Zora sleep in the water, they aren't sure what makes a bed good or bad. I offered a suggestion of creating a bed that's akin to floating in water. That may have been too unrealistic.
The roof protection is now ready to roll.
King Dorephan rules over the Zora and is father to Mipha. He's known for his incredible strength. In fact, he fights with his fins rather than wielding a weapon. One of the guards here even told me excitedly about an army of monsters who were eradicated with a single blow from the king. Zora used Shatterback Point as an area to demonstrate their courage. I understand this was once a crowded and lively place. Many young people came to test their mettle. But ever since a Lionel took residence in the mountain, no one dares go near. No one except Sidon, I fear. Mifa expressly told him not to go, but he got a look in his eye when she did. Divine Beast Vah-Ruta is named after the Zora Sage. I wonder if it was submerged in water by the King of Hyrule when the reservoir was made. In any case, I have heard that its trunk, capable of releasing vast amounts of water, lowered when Mifa approached, a clear invitation for her, almost as though it was an old friend. We received a request from Daruk to move this stable, but it's a critical hub, offering refuge to travelers entering Death Mountain. It also houses the many rescue dogs here on standby in case something happens. With all that in mind, I don't see why he'd want to move it. I shall need to ask him for more information. Just beyond the moor of Death Mountain is a scorching region. The heat from the flow of lava can be intense. So intense, in fact, that it can take one's life should they fail to prepare accordingly. My bodyguards forbade me from going any farther. Yet it is my duty to keep a close watch on the divine beasts we will be fighting alongside. This mission proves to be exceedingly dangerous. This blacksmithing shop doesn't seem to have a name. I get the sense that the blacksmith himself is more concerned with his skills than he is about naming things. Truly, he is a master at his craft, his stature both grand and indomitable. Without so much as a momentary pause while striking the iron, he proudly told me that he was the very one who made Daruk's boulder breaker. When I dropped an apple here, it wasn't long before it became a baked apple. After that, I tried my hand at grilling some meat and fish in the same way. I found it rather convenient, without need of a pot or a fire. Although one Goron watched me curiously, I imagine it must have been an unusual sight for him. After all, they primarily feast upon rocks. Goron City is watched over by Daruk, chief of the Gorons. Despite coming equipped with fireproof elixir, I didn't quite bring enough of it. I settled on making more myself, but I was having trouble catching fireproof lizards. The Gorons, seeing my struggle, decided to help me, and, well, now I have enough fireproof elixir to last the rest of my life. Generations of chiefs have been carved into rock. Daruk stands in a prominent position, a clear indication of how highly regarded he is among the Gorons. It's such an incredible carving, but Daruk never mentions it. Perhaps he's a bit embarrassed. One might find many eggs floating in the water of Goron hot springs. I had the impression that they eat only rocks, but apparently Gorons consider hard-boiled eggs a favored snack. The Gorons appear comfortable soaking in the steaming water, but I suspect a Hylian would end up rather boiled themselves. Camouflaged as rock, divine beast Vah Rudania was concealed in Death Mountain. Then the flow of lava shifted, and Rudania appeared. It could be mere coincidence, but no. Perhaps it has awoken on behalf of all of us, sensing the return of the calamity. The Shadow Hamlet is a secluded village where people prefer to live somewhat disconnected from the rest of society. Many in Hyrule do not even know this place exists. I at least knew the name, but I had no idea it would be like this. I came to warn the people here about the calamity, but they turned me away. At Pura's urging, South Akala's stable was built. It seems she gave the stable owners many sheep to celebrate the opening, so now the grounds are filled with them. There are more sheep than there are horses here. I have to wonder, why sheep?
Yeah. Oh. Mm.
The captain of Akala's citadel was quite proud to tell me how its defenses are even more fortified now, with the brand new cannons installed. He also detailed how the bridge at the entrance is a simple structure which can be quickly removed in case of enemy advancement. It's clear why the citadel is considered impregnable. There are ruins scattered across Tauren Wetland. It would appear this place was once a settlement. I imagine the village may have been abandoned due to the inhospitable nature of the wetlands here. The soil is so damp that it would prove challenging to build on. A goddess statue stands alone in the center of a large basin here. The ground is loose due to water saturation. The surrounding area probably collapsed, leaving this space behind. Perhaps the goddess statue is enshrined here as a means of preventing further damage. Although, I wonder, is this place instead protected because of the goddess statue's presence? This is the spring where Din, goddess of power, is worshipped. Once she was one of the three goddesses, alongside courage and wisdom, but it is said that faith in her dimmed due to power being seen as a symbol of the Demon King. The terrain around the spring is complex and covered with roughly chopped trees, suggesting this place was once used as a training site of some kind. The buds are swelling and look as if they might bloom at any moment. These flowers submerged beneath the surface of the water have been considered prophetic since ancient times. Their blooming is said to herald natural disasters. Perhaps they sense the evil spirit of the calamity. It's called a lighthouse, but my understanding is that it was built as more of a watchtower. But to watch over what, I wonder? Beyond here lies Lomé Labyrinth Island, home to ancient ruins shrouded by mystery. Even approaching the ruins proves challenging. Some scholars posit that evil spirits are trapped there. Perhaps this lighthouse served to watch over the island? I'm probably overthinking it.
These rails are intended to transport materials, but they also supply energy through pipes. The Goron people make extensive use of this kind of mechanism, and I believe it is possible they modeled their designs on our own technology. The Temple of Time is a bell tower and faithful timekeeper, as well as a spiritual center of this land. It was constructed in a traditional Zonai architectural style that extends both up into the sky and down into the ground. It was believed in ancient times that such a design could pierce through evil. The forest ostriches were once on the brink of extinction. However, a proposal by the Queen was made to protect them, and eventually, this species flourished once more. Though they were originally only found in colder lands, they are highly adaptable, thriving in all but the frigid polar regions. On occasion, constructs have been observed forming a line as they wait for an available charging spot. More interestingly, some will give up their place in that line to allow constructs with a greater need to recharge first. Were it that everyone always acted with such empathy. Our culinary constructs were imparted with knowledge of both cooking meals and concocting medicines. Though they have no taste buds, they learn to mimic the movements we make when tasting food. Even my sister, who gifted them with the ability to learn in the first place, was surprised by what they gleaned through simple observation. a crystal refinery, and one responsible for a highly complex manufacturing process. The nature of the work was such that only a select few constructs could perform it, and only 2 of those remain in operation. Fortunately, that is enough for now, though apparently there was a time when they could be found throughout the kingdom. The lives of our people and this tree are interconnected. As we prospered, so too did it. It was the site for many of our rituals, and though that role has since been taken up by the Temple of Time, I am sure this sacred tree watches over us still. Though the flux constructs can enter a standby mode, reducing energy consumption outside of battle, they remain one of our less energy-efficient creations. Considering their limitations, I would love to improve on their design and give them greater range. But my sister says the ancient schematics for them are quite abstruse. This is known as a Zonai device dispenser. But the concept of leaving things to chance is not one often seen in our civilization. I myself believe that it was originally created with a different purpose. Maybe it was used for entertainment, or maybe it was not even originally made by the Zonai. The ways of our ancestors are sometimes unclear, but they are also interesting puzzles to unravel. It was here that we used the capabilities of frost emitters to create a permanently snowy region. By encircling the island in cold air, we created an ideal place to test the durability of constructs and Zonai devices. I'll always remember the look of wonder on Sonia's face the first time we came here. We intended for this airfield to allow easy transportation of goods between Sky Islands. While I hoped the people of Hyrule would make use of it, the flying machines proved challenging to control. I once sought to join Sonia while she practiced with one, but a construct stopped me, insisting that the devices are limited to one rider. I do not believe anyone else is as proficient at handling Zonai devices as the Maker constructs. That said, one should be careful around the inventions of less experienced ones. I recall a very chaotic rafting ride when a misaligned fan made it nearly impossible to steer. I was scared half to death throughout, but Queen Sonia enjoyed herself. This altar is considered the most holy place in the temple, and it is where we give offerings as part of our prayers for a bountiful, peaceful world. I have heard ancient legends that it could interact with a sacred power, allowing travel back and forth through time. Though, how this was done is a mystery to me. The water that flows from here eventually becomes clouds and rain, bringing water down to the land. The Zora people in ancient times had dealings with the Zonai, and I can imagine they used the immense waterfall to travel from the surface to the sky. It is appropriate some refer to this waterfall as a bridge. Thanks to the plentiful water available here, this is a prime spot for conducting water-related research. The floating spheres, for example, have the potential to revolutionize logistics, but as they do not retain their shape for long, their use is limited to certain islands. I have heard that the original reason for the lower gravity in this space was to reduce the jolts cargo could experience during transit. However, it has an additional use. It seems the Zora greatly enjoy the sensation of swimming through the sky. I thought it very strange when I heard from the Zora that there was a fish in the sky, but now I see what they meant. They also told me to stand on the edge of the center platform and look out to the southwest, but Oh, I understand. Quite befitting the Zora. I think I remember. When a Zonai tumbled, Rito Wings gave chase. In thanks for their salvation, the Stormwind Ark was made. A gift given from the Zonai, and the Rito filled with joy. It is an old legend of my people. Could this be that vessel?
Guidance activating. Proceed east and downward. Guidance deactivating.
I traveled here on a quest to cleanse evil, and Sonia has accompanied me. However, I had not considered how challenging it would be to traverse this path. If I had my sister's power, I could perhaps move this vessel. I have heard that until a soul here receives guidance from the Labyrinth's Guardian, it will wander this maze. Perhaps it was here, then, that the Guardian of Wisdom, with their keen mind, would pass judgment on those who deceived others. In a time when Zonai devices make it easy to overcome many of life's obstacles, the idea of flying through the sky without assistance, of overcoming one's fear of falling, has been dismissed as unnecessary idealism. But now that only my sister and I remain, I believe, with my whole being, that it is more important than ever to always strive to grow. The ceremony held here was a trial of heart, strength, and technique. There was a time where everyone who came of age would undertake this test. But as Zonai devices developed and spread, only those wishing to challenge their courage would take part. I wonder if this island will ever see a new challenger. This island is a training site for those who carry the power of light. By practicing at length with this power, one can grow strong enough to overcome great evil. Ah, to recall all the times I had visited this place in my youth. Though this island was originally used as a place to store things, it has been a long time since it fulfilled that role. And while the island lacks an official name, many have come to call it Starview Island. As for me, the only real stars are those sparkling in Sonia's eyes. This island was intended to be a fortress with a strong wall, but it seems to be collapsing faster than other islands. I wonder if the dry climate of the Gerudo region is at fault. Regardless, I should commission a maker construct to help as soon as possible. It would be a disaster if the island fell to the surface. There are stories that claim a soul will wander these halls until the Guardian of Power, said to reach from depths to sky it was so large, has cleansed them of their pride. Perhaps it was in this room that judgment was passed on those overly boastful of their power. I get a strong sense of nostalgia in this place. When I was young, I was intensely interested in finding and studying treasure maps. Before I knew it, I had become quite familiar with the topography of the Sky Islands and, incidentally, with Zonai devices. Nothing motivates one to learn like a healthy sense of curiosity. The people on the surface believe this to be proof of the Lightning Dragon's divine protection. In actuality, it is a lightning rod the Zonai constructed to prevent lightning strikes. Perhaps this is how belief in the Lightning Dragon began. I wonder how often belief results from unrelated coincidence. This was originally a port where materials from the depths were imported and stored, but it is currently being managed by my sister as a construct warehouse. Security is unusually tight. Even I had trouble coming here. But, knowing my sister, she has her reasons. Zonite was once readily found even on Sky Islands. This giant refinery is a remnant of a time where its scarcity seemed impossible. Of course, the lava that powered the refinery still remains. I should consult with my sister and see whether we can yet find a use for this furnace. Circular designs often represent an eternal bond, and were even thought to ward off evil. Perhaps with that in mind, many of the structures here have been constructed with a circular shape. Though this was once an archive containing many important records, now only those my sister keeps remain. A lot of debris is scattered in the area. It is likely that cargo was handled here and... Perhaps the strange shape of the container made it difficult to control the launch mechanism. This area was once known for the abundance of ore that could be mined from the numerous floating islands. Many gathered here to make their fortunes, though today only a few mines remain. The sight of ore deposits sparkling in the night sky. Wonderful company at one side is a better kind of fortune in any case. It is said that until the guardian of this labyrinth offered guidance, a soul would be set to wander these halls. Perhaps this was the room where those dishonest with themselves were judged, where the guardian of this place weighed the courage of a soul. Those that complete the skydiving trial are bestowed empowering attire. It allows them to better control their movement in the air, and if all the pieces are worn together, the wearer need not fear striking the ground no matter how far they fall. The ancient Zonai even fell to the surface at times, but I believe this attire kept them safe too.
Where could the Magnificent One be? We've searched high and low with nothing to... Huh? Hey, you! Why are you in such a hurry? Slow down, there's no need to... What? The Green Crest? You figured out how to make it work? Then we have to hurry to the great abandoned central mine. Hurry! Go faster! Grrr! That cursed Link is back! I knew rumors of him vanishing were too good to be true! And where you find Link, you'll find someone pulling his strings. It can't be Zelda, though. She's long gone from this world. Or is she? The royal family can be tricky. Okay. Assume nothing, and only rest when I'm sure the job is done. It is a good day. I got a report from one of my spies in the survey team. They say the Demon King has awakened, and both Zelda and Link have gone missing. This is the perfect opportunity to show the Magnificent One that we, his best and most loyal retainers, are ready to support him.
Huh? Oh. Huh. Huh?
Yeah, this is definitely the place the notebook mentioned. It says a construct here will let you use Zonai power to memorize and rebuild the design once it's been made. That would be really useful, except there's another one of those green crests. And it doesn't do anything! Someone else can figure it out. All right, so instead of prototype constructs, this place is empty. That's great. Not like I had plans to use everything I was gonna find. At least I have the schematics for Minoru's construct. I could just make that myself. A construct by me for me. Turns out if I stare at Zonai letters long enough, I can learn to read them. It also turns out someone named Minoru wrote this notebook I found. They were apparently the last Zonai to manage this place. Anyway, I came here looking for prototype constructs, not a big owl statue. And that isn't a construct. Right? Heh! Good riddance to those bokoblins. I guess they don't like this light. I was going to let them join my new Yiga Clan Depth Squad, but they definitely like attacking me too much. Makes me miss the Yiga Clan. I wonder what they're up to. What's the deal with this place? The furnace is blazing away, but no one to be seen. Though from a distance, it did look like this green thing was moving. Maybe I should find something to eat. Things will go bad if I start hallucinating. Okay, so there are bokoblins down here. And they're smart enough to mine for something using tools, but they attacked me right away. Here I thought faithful servants of the Magnificent One would want to be friends. Could have at least talked first. Oh, this is a new mushroom. I've never seen anything like it on the surface. Maybe just one little bite. What is the smoke? I can't see anything. Oh, it's just like a smoke screen. I should hang on to a few of these for the next time things are looking dicey. This some kind of ancient doodad? It's flat there and pointed here. Hup. Ah, my butt! Ah, what a terrible seat! Oh, take this terrible seat! Ah! Ah! What? Why are you glowing? Aha! More ancient doodads. Lots like the last one, too. Crazy thing firing off into the air scared the bananas out of me. Huh. I bet the ancients used them to get around. Which means I can, too. Come here, round thingy. Time to show Master Koga what you can do. Yeah! What's this floating green thing? Is this some kind of bottle? What's inside? I'll just... Fine! Don't open! I'm still gonna hang on to you. My sixth sense says you're important. Okay, so I think it'll work to set up a base here close to the hideout. But what do I do about the graveyard notebook? The drawings in it are absolutely schematics of some kind. But they look like impossible, unbuildable wastes of time. But if they aren't, I should explore the depths some more. This place is way too dark. Maybe if these dim glowing things could get brighter, or if this green crest thingy reacted at all. What even is this? Some kind of massive plant? It goes so far up. Does it reach all the way from here to the surface? Is this the afterlife? The great beyond? My final reckoning? Nah, it still hurts like I'm alive. And I'm alive thanks to this weird inflated cloth. Talk about helpful. Unlike that dastardly Link. How dare he foil the secret technique of the leader of the Yiga clan? Gah! Hang on. Maybe I'm in the depths. That's where a bunch of ancient people lived. Maybe? Ho ho! It shook a little there. But touching it also sent a shiver down my spine. Huh. Maybe they're spirits? But if they are, then that means this is the afterlife. The notebook had info about this thing, I'm sure. What page was that? Aha! Here we go. According to these pictures, this creature gets all person-shaped when you get too close. Must be some kind of guard? It's got glowing red eyes, and those are always bad news. I'll keep my distance. You big stupid toad thing! Why do you have good-looking ore on your head if you're just gonna try and eat me when I check it out? I hope you like that bomb flower I gave you. I hope it gives you gas! It seemed really strange that the Rito statues ended abruptly. But turns out the entrance is on the surface. And it's right under Rito Village. Maybe all the mines those statues point to are under big settlements. If that's true, we can employ some sneaky, stabby, and attack from below while they're distracted. Magnificent One, I hope you approve of my incredibly clever plan. And there's the face. You're not in the notebook. Does that mean the Zonai didn't make you? And how'd you get turned to stone anyway? Maybe the goddess did it because you did something bad. Well, bad by her standards. And if she didn't like you, I bet we would have gotten along. So, obviously this was meant to send things to the surface. What I don't understand is how it moves things through the ground. The pictures in the notebook look like it just happens. They just go through. I don't get it. And I can't use this to send stuff to a base on the surface if I can't figure it out. I bet the notebook I found belonged to a Zonai. And if I'm right about that, then this shape must be Zo. And I think this one is Na. And this is I. Device. Zonai device. Zonai device. Yeah, that seems right. And I don't care if it isn't. Almost. No good. Curse my banana gut. The price I pay for those lovely yellow fruits. I just know there's gotta be a great treasure if a flux construct is here. But no. Bananas are once again my undoing. I'm done with this. That treasure chest probably won't open anyway.